Cleansing breath.
We're doing yoga, downward dog.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the ChatGTM podcast. It's Michael Beck and Chad Horn coming to you live here from the Murtech show at the Caesars Palace in Las Vegas, Nevada. We are blessed to be graced by one of the industry's top dudes, a man with strong kerchief game, Mr. Luke Kircher from the Prosper Company, a good friend, somebody I respect, somebody I've been watching over the last few years since I've known Prosper. And I just love the way you operate, Luke. I'm going to say this, and all jokes aside, we've been a lot of fun before we got on the show. So we started with giggles, and I love the fact that we are friends, and that you have actually kind of let your guard down and allowed us to come in a little bit, because there's the reserve Luke, there's a reserve Luke, and there's reserve Luke. No. And then there's Luke that says, "Hey, what's up, man?" And so I am now in beef jerky land, which means we're going to start exchanging jerky. I didn't know he was a fan of that medium of deliciousness.
I didn't know I got I was held out on here. I mean, where did I miss that boat?
Yeah, I'm really mad at Josh Halpern. He now knows, and the cat is out of the bag. So that's okay. I like spreading the gospel of cured meats. So yes, you're now on the official Christmas list.
All right.
For my delicious food, and I'm actually going to make a new batch. I think next weekend, so I'll send you some.
All right. So in 2 weeks, I better.
Yeah. Here it comes. Here it comes.
It's on camera.
So for those of you that don't know Luke, for those of you that don't know the Prosper Company, Luke is somebody that runs part of a big organization that is helping people. And I'm not going to steal your thunder, but let's start with, what's the better table? What's it all about? What is Prosper?
Absolutely. No, I appreciate the opportunity, gentlemen, and this is long overdue. So quite the honor. But no, fortunate that I've been in the restaurant food service industry for just over 20 years, and building most of these conferences and events. You learn a lot through the process.
Yeah.
What are the needs? What are people looking for? But at the same time, how can we make a difference in people's lives? Because personally, for me, I've got a little bit of a mantra of bringing humanity back to business. Mm-hmm. And, you can do well and do good in business. And at the same time, let's keep focus on, we're people serving people.
Yeah.
And so often we kind of lose sight of that. And I think that there are better ways for us to, our motto, build a better table. And a lot of that, as well as this whole mentorship opportunity, next gen leadership. We, as the restaurant food service space, we are the second largest employer outside of the U.S. government. We are typically the first trainer for so much of the employees in the workspace, and yet we hemorrhage a bunch of our talent to other industries. Like, we get first bite of the apple. We should be able to attract and keep the best talent in our community and our space.
Why do you think we have the talent leakage?
I mean, that's a complex question. There's a multitude of things that I think go into that, but a portion of it, I think, is the optics and the persona. It's not as, the vision is that it's not as prestigious as a doctor, a dentist, lawyer, attorney. I mean, oftentimes, and even in the media, it's depicted as like, oh, it's that first lily pad to get you to what you really want to do.
Right.
And I think there's a disconnect between the storyline of, not only is this a really fruitful and healthy community industry, can't outsource it, but at the same time, like, there's money to be made. And there's also a wonderful community, and hospitality is not easy, but it's incredibly rewarding.
Yeah, there's definitely a path to generational wealth if they do it right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And you see that representation in so many of our different partners and brands, right? I mean, whether you're not even at the CEO level, but I mean, even if you're in mid-management, we don't even talk about anything above a general manager level. That's, as a customer and going to restaurants my whole life, the only person that you thought that was the highest level that you could possibly attain.
Right.
Well, then you get beyond that and you're like, oh, there's district managers, there's regional managers, there's on the corporate side, do you want to get into supply chain, culinary, marketing, finance, operations? I mean, there's an endless list of opportunities and functions. So it's really just finding, what do you have the attitude, the aptitude, what's going to fill your bucket, provide the lifestyle and quality that you're looking for, and that you can be proud of to share with others.
Right. Yeah. So this mission you're on has resulted in an incredibly successful annual event in August in Florida in hurricane season.
Well, it's moved for next year.
It has.
Yes, we did.
Yes, but it's still Florida, but I mean, no weather issues, right? In Orlando. But I'm curious, with all the success support you've received, how obvious was it that you were onto something in the early days?
when we launched Prosper, we had the relational currency. We went to our partners in the industry and they said, look, we know the horsepower that you can bring, but it's got to be something different.
Yeah.
And so, that really gave birth to this whole Prosper Accelerator element. So it's kind of that high level boardroom conversation topics and leadership, but at the same time, how do we invite those next gen leaders? It's not a recognition platform or program. It's really who has the attitude and aptitude to be the face of your organization in the near future. But more important than any of that, even, is building a cohort and a network and a community. Because outside of your own organization, how often do you really get to interact with others that you can share ideas, opinions, thoughts, experiences with?
Yeah.
That, it's kind of like when you have a conversation with your friend at the bar from your childhood. Do they really understand what you're going through? Do they understand our industry? No, it's kind of they're there to be and play the role of a friend.
Blink, stare, and nods.
Right. And so how do you create that environment across our community where, hey, you know what? I actually have a buddy that's over in supply chain or finance or marketing that I can go and get their opinion in kind of a safe space, and we can grow together because we've got this wonderful industry, but it's spread across every state, every land, I mean, it's incredible how big this is.
Learning about accelerators last year was really an eye opener. I thought it was all tech accelerators together and all brand accelerators together, but it's not. It's layered, right? And it works in a way that, for lack of a better term, is almost like a fraternal order or sorority or a more homogenized version of that, right? This cadre that you get to come up with that, like when you go to a fraternity, those are the people you're going to be networking and doing business with as you move out and on into the world.
Absolutely.
Now, these are already people already in their roles
Right.
initially and already in the brands and already in the tech companies. And it feels like this is a staging point for a collaboration that's going to be a lifelong endeavor.
I mean, that's the vision and the goal, right?
Yeah.
Is look, if you look at talent, at a certain point, table stakes are you proficient in your role?
Yep.
If you're in finance, you're not going to get to be a VP of finance unless you're pretty strong in the finance game and your acumen. But at a certain point, when you get into that C-suite and more of that senior leadership, it's actually much more than that. It's how do you understand how the business operates, the value that you can bring to your peers and your partners that are playing those other leadership roles. If your aspirations are to be the CMO of a marketing organization or a marketing company, right? But you don't understand a P&L, you're not going to have a spot at the table very long because you've got to be able to speak the language and provide value back to them.
Yeah.
And so one of the beautiful attributes of this is, you get to cross-pollinate and learn from others that are best in class. Like these are the top of the top, just incredible leaders, and they're coming from all different segments of the entire space.
Yeah.
So whether that's finance, marketing, operations, supply chain, whatever it is, so it really provides you an opportunity to sharpen each other, right? Because you're going to bring your authentic self into that environment as well.
Yeah.
So, Luke, when it's just you and the team and you guys are talking about everything you're doing, the Prosper Accelerator program, what do you point to from a data or story perspective to show you guys that it's working?
That's a great question.
He has good questions.
I mean, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so when we look at it at the success around this, there's a couple of factors that come into it, right? One is we've had some accelerators themselves that have seen some incredible opportunity and progression, and I don't attribute that solely to us or anything. I mean, there's a multitude of factors, but it does shine a bright light on these are world-class leaders. In addition, what I look at is our partners are coming back to us and saying, this is the response. This is the impact that our accelerator has had back in our community. And so, hey, we had 2 and now we want 10 or even more sometimes, right? Companies aren't leaning in and investing in that type of a capacity unless it's having meaningful impact and results in their organization. And when I say results, I mean business results, right? We have this wonderful tagline of, building a better table is better business, better lives, and a better world. Well, it has to lead with better business. And so that's been a wonderful element and kind of mile marker for us on growth and trajectory. But the other piece is just the response that we're hearing from the accelerators themselves, again, bringing humanity back to business. when you hear somebody share the story of, their family finally understands, their job, what their career journey has been, and a little bit more of their story, like that's a remarkable gift.
Yeah.
Right. And so we're going to keep rocking. It's we launched the Accelerator Conference.
It was awesome.
It was well, and we want to reimagine, what does this look like? So, how do we expect and get more out of the time, energy, places that we spend, places we send our team members? And so we're fortunate that because of the support we have at the top with the leadership and the C-suite and those relationships, this is a space where they pour into the next gen leaders. And it's not just for the accelerators, which is often a question that we get, but it is for companies and organizations that are looking to invest, motivate, retain, drive talent, as well as for individuals. Hey, it doesn't have to be company sponsored. You can absolutely come and join us. And so whether you're a franchisee, whether you're a general manager, whether you work on the corporate side, all great opportunities.
Well, one of the things that the first time I went to Prosper, and I called Chad up about it, and I was like, this is a no pitch event. I mean, not that people aren't creating opportunities for commerce.
Right.
But one of my favorite moments was I was sitting on a bench with somebody and talking to her for like the better part of an hour, and didn't realize she was the CEO of a very big, she was CEO of BMW.
Right.
Like, that doesn't happen. It's usually, hey, my eyes are up here.
Right.
Not looking at my badge.
Right.
And it was just this wonderfully refreshing, I'm a person, you're a person, to your point, humanizing business the way going, I like you. I like to do business with you. What do you do? Right. It's just a different, it's a paradigm shift on how that all works. And I absolutely love it. So before we move on to this event here, I know you hosted a panel.
Yes.
Right. And so tell me a little bit about what that panel is today.
So honestly, I mean, this is my first time ever being able to attend Mertech, and it's been wonderful. I mean, they were so gracious to extend the invitation. Abby and her team here are absolutely spectacular.
Yeah, they are.
And I wasn't sure what to expect, but a month and a half ago, we were having a conversation talking about some opportunities on some projects and programs, and just organically kind of came about of, hey, would you be interested in leading a panel or conversation? So, quickly reached out to a couple of friends, and thank goodness they were so willing, right? But I look at the human characteristics of any of the conversations. So when we take content, I want to look at it from that human partnership piece. So we had a panel and conversation this morning, particularly for this tech community and audience, on the discipline of focus, because there's so much evolving, so many things happening. And whether you're on the operator side, the supplier side, really we don't all need to take the exact same roadmap. Some of it can be tools that are great for your brand and different for this one. That's how we differentiate from each other. But the other piece is, we're constantly being overloaded with the distractions of all these things. And the discipline of it is, what do I need to say no to so that I can say, even if it's a great opportunity, to say yes to the right opportunities?
I'm smiling because Chad knows I suffer from this problem. I love me some shiny objects.
Most people do.
Yeah.
Right. Well, it's a leadership characteristic that actually it's extremely challenging, because, when you're with an organization, especially a larger organization, you don't typically get pitched and presented bad ideas.
No.
Right. Usually though, it's the great ideas that you still have to say, I love this, but it's just not right now.
Yeah.
Right. And when you have scope creep or mission spread or any of these wonderful terms that we've come up with, you lose sight of the 1, 2, 3 simple things that are going to actually determine the success of your organization.
So knowing you're being so intentional about focus, is there anything new you are focused on in 2026?
Oh, so yes, but I do need to take one step back.
Okay.
That panel.
Yeah.
I got to give a shout out, because GJ Hart, unbelievable to have GJ on stage, getting that C-suite CEO perspective, multiple brands within his portfolio. Fortunate to have Blake Johnson, who's head of marketing for Chuck E. Cheese.
Yep.
And they're both international and domestic, but at the same time, that marketing perspective is really key and important. And then Nigel Henry was global director of operations for Yum Brands, bringing that operations piece to it, because the conversation and the heart of it was really in the spirit of the discipline of focus.
Yeah.
Who owns the guest relationship?
Yeah. You really hit that hard. That was good.
I mean, it's very important because look,
Yes.
even when you look at the restaurant and hospitality space, the guest relationship is the number one. Like, that is the number one priority. And if you are strengthening or moving further away from that relationship, is correlated through every aspect of your business. And so it really is important to keep that as kind of the front line. And then you can dissect it. But the challenge is, for our industry, there's so many partners, whether it's marketing, whether it's technology, whether it's operations, whether it's our third-party marketplace and partnerships there. All of them have interaction with the guest. And so it's great when we talk about like who owns the guest experience, but then the secondary follow-up is inevitably things are going to go wrong. But who owns the responsibility to jump in and bear hug the problem and the opportunity and to come up with a solution around that?
Bear hug the problem. I like that.
Right?
I like that. Sounds like you're wrestling Huck as a youngster.
Oh, he was, no, by the time I was 8, he was off to college. I mean,
really?
he jumped the fence and left me behind.
So, Chad, back to your question.
Oh, yeah. So, no, sorry. Thank you. But I had to go back to
It's
that.
the first time I ever come back to anything. I usually move on way too quick.
Squirrel. So, new things that we're working on. I mean, honestly, we've got a couple of fun, exciting things, but all to reinforce kind of the mission vision, right? Missions to elevate the food service and hospitality leadership. And, we're looking to drive a more prosperous and just world. But so when we talk about new initiatives for this year, we're doubling down on the partnership or on the Accelerate assessment. We actually launched Prosper U. So now we'll have just this unbelievable catalog of additional insights and leadership and resources and tools that you can go and participate in on your own time as a partner and a member of the Prosper community. That's been a really exciting thing. We also just finalized a partnership with Data Essentials for this coming year. And they are doing some proprietary studies and research that I think is going to be high value that we're going to roll out at Prosper Forum this year. And then finally, we just finalized a partnership with the CIA. They're actually moving one of their programs to be associated and involved directly with the Accelerate conference.
That is awesome. Yeah, I know. I went to culinary school. I do know that. Well, my eyes got wide though. I'm like, are they snooping on Prosper? No.
This is
Culinary Institute of America.
It's such a right. I've got a funny story about that another time though. But it's wonderful because they're going to bring in their community on the culinary side, focus on sustainability, healthy menu options, ideation, innovation, all of that wonderful content piece. But then in addition, they're going to get access to the community and the environment that we're creating within the Accelerate Conference.
That makes a ton of sense on every level. That's awesome.
Even in the presentation today, I gave the example of kind of where we're at with who owns the guest experience and the customer, right? But it's similar with who owns the menu in our restaurants. Is that led by culinary, supply chain? Is it led by marketing? Is it led by purchasing? Like, who ultimately owns those decisions? And in that capacity, it's actually unique where, depending on your brand, it may be somebody different.
Yeah.
Some organizations are marketing first, marketing led. Some of them are culinary first, culinary led. Some of them are supply chain or purchasing, right? So it's everyone has the veto button, but who ultimately is kind of the order of operations running the plays for everybody.
Wow.
Right?
These are the right questions.
Love it. Well, we took a little bit more of your time than I said I was going to. We're at 19 minutes. I said I was going to do 15 minutes, but you know me by now. So I do move the goalposts, but not intentionally. Just the conversations are great.
Well, we got 19 minutes of talking, but I know once this gets edited down, you're going to take out most of my comments. We'll end up with a 30-second clip, right?
It'll be a little, hi, I'm Luke. And so that was it. That was great. And cut. Perfect.
Well, but hold on a second. You've got your Prosper pen on.
I'm missing mine. I badge of shame today. Yes.
I mean,
2 demerits for Chad.
We've got to fix that for the future, though.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I got it on my shelf.
So with clarity, the dates for Prosper and Accelerate are
So excitingly, on the Prosper Forum side, we've moved a couple weeks earlier. So
Okay.
we are August 16th to the 19th. We're over at the Ritz-Carlton Orlando. So we moved locations.
okay.
It is the only Ritz-Carlton in the system that's actually larger than Amelia Island.
Wow.
So while I miss our Amelia Island team,
That view.
it's nice because we have a full commitment. We did a full buyout of the property. So there's a lot of benefits that come with that.
Yep.
And then for the Accelerate conference, we are in October back at
Dallas?
the Omni Dallas,
Great property.
and we are the 27th through the 30th.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, Luke, if anybody wants to get a hold of you or Prosper, what's the best way to engage? Is the Prosper website? And so what's that website?
Prospercompany.com, and we actually
Okay.
just did a redesign on it. And then you can always email, info at prospercompany.com.
Boom.
And it's going to be an absolutely spectacular year. We're excited to bring everybody together to build a better table. Come join us.
You bet you. We can't wait to help tell the story. And we're such excited fans about Prosper and what they do. I mean, literally, it's one of my favorite shows out there in the industry, hands down. I'll say that from Mertech. I'm sorry, but it is. It really is. So, but for now, this is Luke Kircher with the Prosper Company. He told you where to find him. He told you about the events. If you can't figure that out, call me. I'll put you in touch with them or get you in touch with the organization. But for now, random acts of kindness, sprinkle that stuff everywhere. And just have a great day. Have a prosperous day. And thank you for being our audience during this Mertech show. And we'll see you guys a little later.
Beautiful. Have a great day. Thank you. Thank you, boys.